In this second lecture of the electrical motors and transformers, we are discussing about the induction motor. Induction motor is basically an AC motor, means we have to supply AC to the induction motor. They are operated in single phase and three phase also. So the induction motor is mainly classified as single phase induction motor and three phase induction motor. Most of the applications are run on the three phase induction motor, and depending upon the construction of the rotor, the three phase induction motor is mainly classified on the basis of rotor. The first one is squirrel cage induction motor and second is slip ring induction motor. According to the construction of three phase induction motor, there are mainly two parts. First one is stator and another is rotor. The stator is the stationary part of the induction motor. It is made up of the silicon steel stamping, and these stampings are slotted. The slotting is done due to the at the place of the slot we are able to place the conductors. This is the construction of the induction motor. This is a stator. Then this is in this slot we place the stator winding, and the central part is rotor, and the circle shown here at which we are placed the rotor winding. The supply is given to the stator, and at the center there is a keyhole. This is called as the shaft of the induction motor. The slot in the induction motor are of different types, means it is either a open type, semi-open type or closed type. The winding used in this stator winding is of copper, and the stator is made up of silicon steel stampings. While talking about the rotor, rotor has mainly two types. First one is the squirrel cage and second is wound rotor. This is also called as slip ring type. The squirrel cage rotor is look like this. The rotor is consist of the cylindrical laminations. These are the laminations, and these screwed rotor slots. These are secured with these end rings. These rotor conductors are permanently shorted in these end rings. Due to this, we are not able to add the resistance at the starting. The rotor body is also made up of the silicon steel stamping. This rotor is look like cage, so the motor of this shape is called as squirrel cage induction motor. The second type of rotor is slip ring rotor or wound type rotor. This is the construction of the slip ring type induction motor. Here is the shaft, and rotor slots are here. The slip rings are placed at the axis of the shaft, and the external resistance is connected at the slip rings. The brushes are connected to add or the cut down of the external resistance. For this type of induction motor, we need same number of poles on the stator and rotor. These slip rings are made up of copper or phosphor bronze. When running under the normal conditions, the slip rings are short circuited by a metal collar which pushes along with the shaft. The three phase winding which is used for the slip ring rotor is in star connection. So this is all about the construction of the rotor of the induction motor. In this chart we are discussing about the different parts of the induction motor and the material used for them. Along with this, we are discussing about the function of the different parts of the induction motor. The first one is stator frame. Stator frame is made up of cast iron, and the frame is used to support the core and protection of the inner parts. This is similar to the yoke, which is discussed in our previous lecture. The next is stator core. Stator core is made up of silicon steel. It is used to house the stator winding. The next is stator winding. Stator winding is made up of copper and insulation. The winding is separated by the separate insulators. It is used to produce the rotating magnetic field, means flux in the induction motor. The fourth one is rotor core. Rotor core is made up of silicon steel. The rotor core is used to store the rotor winding. The rotor winding is made up of copper and the winding is separated by the insulators. This rotor winding is used to produce the rotor current, and the air gap is used to provide the gap between stator and rotor. This allows the rotor to move freely. The next is air inlet outlet. This is used to circulate the air. Cooling fan is made up of aluminum. It is used for air circulation in the stator and the rotor. Slip rings are made up of phosphor, bronze or copper. The slip ring consists of the external resistance via brushes. Brushes are made up of carbon and it provides connection between resistance and the slip rings. Everyone should remember the different parts of the induction motor, material used for them and the function of the different parts for clear understanding. Now we are discussing about how the rotating magnetic field is generated in the induction motor. As the induction motor is operated on the rotating magnetic field, which is produced by the stator winding in stator core. This rotating magnetic field is able to flow in between rotor and the stator, so the air gap is provided in between them. The stator is in three-phase stationary winding. It can be a star connected or in delta connected. The star connected winding is look like this. There are three lines coming, R, Y and B, and they are connected in star. This is the star point of the stator. Similarly, the delta is connected with the three windings R, Y, B, and this is the delta connection of the stator. Whenever the AC supply is connected to the stator winding, it will produce three line currents, that is IR, IY and IB. These currents are shifted by 120 degree from each other. Means if a current is start at 0 shift, then another is start at 120 and third one is start at 240 degrees. If we consider the flux produced by different currents IR, IY, IB is phi R, phi Y and phi B, then the waveform of phi R, phi Y and phi B is like this. As you can see here, the phi R and phi Y is separated by the phase shift of 120 degree. Similarly, phi Y and phi B is separated by the phase shift of 240 degrees. So there is a 120 degree phase shift in between each other. This is the phasor diagram of the rotating magnetic field. This is flux of R line, this is B and this is Y. They are separated by 120 degree from each other. So the production of RMF means rotating magnetic field, the total flux, that is phi T, is the sum of the individual fluxes of the phi R, phi Y and phi B. If we need to calculate the total flux, we have to add these three individual fluxes. The speed of the rotating magnetic field is calculated by Ns. Ns is synchronous speed and it is equals to 120 F by P. Here F is a frequency which is supplied to the stator and P is number of poles. If we have to calculate the number of poles, we can rearrange the equation and calculate the number of poles. There are so many basic questions depending on this formula, so everyone should know this formula of synchronous speed. This synchronous speed is calculated in RPM. RPM means revolution per minute. Nextly, we are discussing about the direction of the RMF, means at which direction the rotating magnetic field is rotating. The direction of the rotating magnetic field is dependent on the phase sequence. If the phase sequence is RYB, then it will rotate in clockwise direction. But if we change the sequence RYB to the RBY, then the stator start rotating in anti-clockwise direction or in reverse direction. As from this figure, it is clear that if the sequence is RYB of stator, then the rotor is rotating in clockwise direction. If we change the sequence to the RBY, then the RMF rotates in anti-clockwise direction. This is it all about the induction motors.